being recorded. I hate that sound. Okay, so we're going to record for benefits of those who might miss the session, and then we are going to get started. So, welcome everybody. This is Ladies Arise. We're starting off 2023-24 session. We're going to learn more about Ladies Arise, what it is, what we do, what we have planned for this year. Extremely excited for this year. I don't know, but something feels like something is shifted for this year, and I'm really excited to see what God has in store for us. So very quickly, this is what we're going to go through today. We're going to have an icebreaker. We're going to talk about what Ladies Arise is about. Disclaimer, the order of this may or may not have changed as we go along. We're going to have some conversations, okay, around the issues that we women deal with, issues that we're dealing with. For those who were in the last in-person session that we had the last time, they can testify that, one of the conversations we had that was really interesting is how we're still in the middle of all the issues that we have as women. And then some other people are coming out and saying that they are women. They were not women from the beginning, but now they are saying that they are women. Do we really just accept and say, yeah, their issues are now our issues? Are they different from us? Are they really women? Like, how do we even deal with that on top of everything else that we've been dealing with? Do they even deal with the same issues that we deal with? But the question really then is, what are even the issues that we deal with? We're going to have conversations on how we can support. By we would be, we supporting one another as a group of women, but even how we in Ladies Arise, and you know who the other version of the we are very soon. They don't know yet, but they will all be speaking today, whether they like it or they like it. They've been set up. And we'll be having, we'll get to know who the other we are. And then we're going to talk about what we're developing this year. Okay. We need to be very intentional. And as we're going to see when we talk about what Ladies Arise is, we need to be very intentional with our lives. For me, I know that one of the things I've told myself is that every year must not end and then I'm grappling to find out what exactly did I do with myself in this year. I'm not going to do that to myself. And from the moment I made that decision, it has been an interesting journey in my life since then. Since then, as a matter of fact, actually, research shows that people who live purposefully tend to live longer. And that's why it's hard to kill some people. You kill them, they come back, they have 10 lives, not even 9, because there's something that they're chasing after. And just the sheer, presence of purpose makes it hard for their spirits to just let go. I don't know how that works. But as somebody who has had, 2 near-death experience, I feel like I want to agree that research is true. So anyway, what is one thing that you'll develop this year? We're going to talk about that and what that looks like. And then we're going to show you a snapshot of the year. Like I said, we, um, whom you soon know who we are, have, gone through, done some legwork. We've gone through every month for the rest of this, our Ladies Arise year has a theme tied to it, has a book to it, or something that we're going to be doing tied to it that we will be looking at in each month, and you'll see what that looks like. And we're just going to go over that very quickly. So, to kick us off, we're going to do an icebreaker, and here's how this is going to work. When you are doing this, you're going to tell us your name if you've been here before for benefit of those who might be new so they know who you are. The other thing too I should mention, please, for that very brief moment, turn on your camera so that at least we can put name to the face to the name. Tell us your name, what city you're in, and then go over our icebreaker questions. Um, Makes sense? And I will go in order just to make it easier. I will start with the first name I see here. And then what would happen is whoever that first person is, when I mention your name, is that you will tag the next person. So let's say, for instance, if I said Funks, it's actually not Funks, but if I said Funks, you're it. When Funks is done talking, then she will tag the next person. So you pick whoever you want until we go around everybody. Make sense? It's clear to us? Thumbs up. Yes. No. No. Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. So the first person I actually see here, and if you're new, let us know that you're new. This is your first time here. So yeah. So first person, Beatrice, that I actually see here.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm new and this is my first time attending the Zoom
You are
meeting.
welcome.
Yeah, and I was wondering if there's a possible way you can introduce the group to me.
Oh yes, we'll get there. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Hi everyone. My name is it says Beatrice, but my name is Joba, and I'm based in Regina, Saskatchewan. And I don't. Is that all I needed to say?
Well, yes. And then can you see the screen?
E- Uh, yes, I can.
Okay. So tell us all
So you want me to
about.
answer those questions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So what is one thing you really enjoyed doing this summer? I enjoyed spending time with my family and friends. We had a lot of like outdoor activities and just doing a lot of it this year for some reason. We didn't do as much last year. So I think it was really good to kind of bond with everyone before we go into hibernation again. Um, what is one thing you wish you did but didn't do? I wish I traveled. Um, I wished I traveled, but I'm hoping I could do that sometime soon, hopefully. What is one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? Hmm, I don't know. I actually don't know how to answer that question uh, right now. But yeah, those are the two things I think I was able to, I can come up with for now. Thank you.
Okay. Tap the next person. You tell us, pick whoever you
Okay.
want.
Okay. So I tagged Ife.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear
Hi,
you.
Ife.
I can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. Hi, my name is Ife Jesu. I'm not new here. I've been here since the beginning, I guess. What's one thing I really enjoyed in the summer? My family was here, my parents, my mom, dad, and my brothers were here. So that was basically the highlight of my summer. I really enjoyed spending time with them. What's one thing I wish I did, but I didn't do? I can't I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything. I feel like I had a really good summer. I really did. I don't have any regrets. And what's one thing in the summer I wish I could do again? Well, I went to White Horse. I went travel nursing there and I really loved it there. So I really want to go again. So that's one thing I want to do again. Yeah, it's nice to meet everyone.
Don't forget to tap the next person.
Oh yes, I forgot. Okay. Lami is the next person on the list. I tag Lami.
Hi, can you hear me? Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, this is my first time. I'm
Hey,
glad to be
welcome.
here as well. I'm glad to be here. And so I'll just go right into the icebreaker. There was quite a number of things I enjoyed during the summer. I did a lot of this summer, this time around, I traveled, so it was good to know. I went to quite a number of places, and it was nice. Um, so it says, what is that one thing you really enjoyed doing? Okay, so I would say I enjoyed doing two things. Two things, not just one. I have lots, but let's start with two first. So, one, I traveled to Dallas, and I was able to go um, to the Dick's Church, which is the Potter's Torch. I was glad I went. It was a long drive. I took Uber all by myself, but I was glad I went and I had an awesome time. So that was one
I
thing I was
hate to
glad I
break
did.
in. I hate to break in. We're at the conference. We want to evolve.
Not the Evolve one. No, I just went. I went to
Okay.
Dallas. It was
Okay.
before
Okay.
the
Sorry.
Evolve.
I thought you were at
It was
Women Evolve. I was
no,
like, we didn't see
no,
you.
no, it was before the Evolve. I went to
Oh no.
church that day. I went to the church and yeah, so I had a good time. So that was one thing I was glad I did. Another thing I was glad I did this summer was I haven't seen my brother since the last time I saw him was 2018. And I was able to see him briefly. When I mean briefly, I mean 2 minutes at Calgary Airport because I had another connecting flight to do. It was very risky. I had to leave. Security ran out and quickly came back again. I almost missed my flight. But I was glad I did that. I went in, almost getting on the plane, panting and gasping for breath. But I was glad I saw my brother. So that was two things I did this summer. And then what is that one thing that you wish you 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 did but didn't do? Okay, maybe well, I spent more time reading. I didn't really read this summer. Okay, I wish I read more. I didn't read. I just gallivanting around. But even at that, I should have read even the little times I had. But yeah, I didn't read this summer so much. I wish I did that. Then what is the one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? So that would be to I'd love to see my brother again. Okay, because the last time I saw him was just we saw 2 minutes and that was it. It was less than 2 minutes or three. I did a quick video with him and he picked me up and and made me and just carried me. It was fun. So I wish to see him again and maybe spend a night or two with him. Hopefully. Yeah, so that's one thing I'd love to do again. Yeah, that's it about me.
Thank you. Who are you tagging?
Okay, I tagged Funke O.
Hello, everyone. My name is Funke, and I'm not new to the group. I've been here for a while. So do I just go into the icebreakers then?
Yes.
And I'm
Okay.
based in Regina, Saskatchewan. Okay, so what is one thing you really enjoy doing this summer? I enjoy spending time with my family, my siblings, or my sister and my mom came over for summer. And I also went to visit my siblings this summer as well. So that was really nice just to see everyone since we're all in different cities. And I also got to travel during the summer as well, which was nice. One thing you wish you did but didn't do. I don't know. Maybe hang out more with like friends and like summer barbecue and things like that. I think we only had maybe 2 barbecues this summer, but I think having more would have been nice. What is one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? I wish I could travel again and then spend time with my family. Anita, why are you speaking like that? All right, so I'll pass it on to Oluchi. Oh, has she gone? No, she hasn't.
I'm here.
Okay, I'll pass it on to you.
Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Oluchi and this is my first time in doing this group. And I was referred by Precious, Mrs. Precious.
Welcome. We're glad to have you. And
Thank
don't
you.
worry, you'll hear all about what we do, who we are.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us.
Jump right to the question. So what's one thing you enjoy really doing this summer? Whew. Okay, I traveled to Nigeria to spend time with my parents. Yes, because I haven't seen them for like 6 years. Yeah, so it was memorable. I really enjoy spending time with them and stuff like that. Says, what's the one thing you wish you did but didn't do? I wish I launched my business on time. As majority of you know, I have a cleaning business and I have 2 girls that currently work for me. And what's one thing?
No, Oluchi, we did not know that, but good to
Oh,
know
okay.
now.
Yeah, thank you. What's one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? Spend more time with my parents. That's it.
Awesome. Please tag the next person.
Let's go with Lola. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oops. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Good
Sorry, let me put
afternoon.
the camera. It's blurry. So yeah, my name is Lola. I'm not new to the group. Let me answer the questions. Yes, I live in Regina. What is one thing you really enjoyed during the summer? I love the fact that I started back my hair business. One. And I love the fact that I got to travel to see a childhood friend of mine that I've not seen in like 12 years. Also, seeing things that kind of my kids, I'd really love to see a few things around the world. We were opportune to take them to those places this summer, so that really gladdened my heart. One thing you wish you did but you didn't get to do, I didn't get to sleep a lot because I thought that summer should be a time of as in getting like some me time. I didn't get a lot of me time this summer. I was just everywhere, so I didn't like that. What is one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? I would really love to travel to see people, like I've not seen some of my siblings in like 10-12 years, like, so that's the plan for next year, probably to travel again and go see my own siblings. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget to tag the next person. And some. You're muted.
I'll tag Kofo.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. My name is Kofo and I stay in Regina. Okay, I can't remember the other things, but let me just go straight to this one. What is one thing I really enjoyed doing this summer? I enjoyed writing. So I did a lot of writing this summer. A lot. So you guys should watch out for something. Because I did a lot of writing this summer, so I enjoyed that. Um, what is one thing you wish you did but didn't do? Um, I This year has been weird. I did a lot of exams towards my CPHR this year. And then there is the last one, which is the NKE that I'm supposed to do. But the way my head is right now, I don't think I have the capacity to do it this year. I wish, because my goal was to do everything this year. But it's a lot. I did like six exams, and then I still have these NKEs. So I'm like, you know what? I can't go manage myself. I'll do it next year. God help me. So that's one, that's one thing. Um, what is one thing in my summer that I wish I could do again? Well, currently my younger sister is around and I'm not seeing her in a while, so I wish she would come again. If that's something, yeah, I would be able to see her again. Um, I guess I'm tapping the next person. I feel like everyone has gone. Have we? Who is A?
A hasn't gone. Tolu hasn't gone.
Yeah.
Deborah hasn't gone. Taya hasn't gone.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'll go A.
I think I'm A. You would have to forgive the A look right now. Zane, leave me alone. Zane, leave me alone, please. Thank you. Sorry. That is what is A troubleshooting with right now. Anyway, what was the question? A is Abose de Farumbi. She lives in Regina. What is one thing? And Kofa, I don't know why you had to call me.
but either way. What is one thing you really enjoyed doing in the summer? Lots of road trips. It was stressful journeying from my location, doing the road trips, but when you get to the final destination, you're like, okay, now let's explore the city. So I did enjoy that, and it was also beneficial for the kids. They got to see that there are other cities outside of Regina where we live. So that was a good experience. What is one thing you wish you did but didn't do? I had a goal for self-care for myself.
Sorry, Auntie Abosede, I'm not sure what happened to your volume, but it just went down.
Oh,
Or is it just for me?
can you hear me?
Yes, it's good now.
Sorry. So what was the last thing I said before it cut off?
You read the second question.
Okay. So what is one thing you wish you did but didn't do? I wish I had a goal for more self-care, especially over the summertime for myself. I just never got to do it, and I'm still feeling very hard on myself. I was still having the conversation with someone about how I plan to go for massages and every other self-care, and I just never got to do it. Maybe someone would ginger me, but I really would love to do it. What is one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? Oh, I went on a group road trip, and it's fun. Anyone that is planning good group road trips, please call me. It's fun just not having to plan and figure everything by yourself and having other people to brainstorm and explore places together. It is. So I love that. What did Funke say? I was already responding. Okay. Anyway, that's me. What am I supposed to tag next? Let me go through the list. Has Joba gone?
Kalu hasn't gone. Taya, Precious just joined us. Hi, Precious. Who else is
Yes,
remaining?
I've gone.
Okay, I would put Precious. Yeah. I'll put Precious on the spot because she just joined. Sorry, Precious. That's your punishment.
Why won't you call my name? Why won't you call my name?
You should have figured that out, right?
I knew it was coming, but I was like, let me give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Good afternoon. Sorry I joined very late. I'm baking. I have a lot of parties that I'm pitching for today. So sorry about that.
What's just send some of them pastry away and all is forgiven.
It's coming. It's coming. What's the first question? Is that the first question? What's one thing you really enjoy doing? Okay. In the summer, I don't know. I was baking all through. I was working all through. So I can't really say there was something that I did.
You enjoyed making money now.
I mean, I was working all through. So nothing really. Just I have a boring life. So I'm just my boring life. What's the other one? What's one thing you wish you did but didn't do? I wanted to travel. I wanted to travel, but let's just say I had to allow my husband to travel. So my trip was cancelled. So that's it. What's one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? Nothing. Because I have a boring life, so I'm always home baking, working, and also nothing really. Yeah. Can I tag someone? Is that all the question? Okay.
So
Mama Boys.
Yeah, okay. Hey, you
Mama
right
Boys.
person.
You already know yourself, so just answer. Just answer. Or should I call your name?
She knows herself now.
Agbani.
You know.
Okay,
you better call my name. Better call my name. I have a name.
See now. You really know you're the one I'm talking to. Look at this woman.
Mama Boys. Am I the only Mama Boys on this line?
You're the only Mama Boys, so. Oh, sorry, Joba is here. But Joba already answered, so it was like the other mamas that have not answered.
I beg shift. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Taya, and I live here in Regina. Pardon my voice. I have a cold and yeah. Okay, what is one thing you really enjoyed in this summer? The menu. Okay, one thing, I'll just summarize. I traveled lot with my family, alone, with my friends and my sister. I really enjoyed, I don't know if this counts as summer, being at the Woman Evolve 2023, but it was summer over there. So for me, it was still summer. I really enjoyed being there, being in the midst of greatness, in quotes, in summary. Okay, number 2. What is one what is one thing you wish you did but you didn't do? Like I mentioned, I was in the midst of greatness. One thing I wished I did, even though I was in a room with Sarah Jakes, I wished I had a one-on-one sit and chat with her. But I didn't, so I wish I did that. Number 3, what is one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? Travel more travels. Even though I said I traveled a lot, but I wish to travel more again with my family and friends.
Who are you tagging? We have Tulu and Deborah left, I think. Yeah, Tulu and Deborah left. So you gotta tag one of them, and the other person has to tag the other.
Okay, Tolu, I tagged Tolu.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Tolulope. I live in Regina. Okay, so what's one thing I really enjoyed? I went out with my family here, and then it was fun. What's one thing you wish you did that I didn't do? Like travel. I wish I traveled, but I didn't get to travel. Then what's one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? Well, go out more. Go out more. I went out at least, I think I hanged out with some couple of friends just once, and I think I want to do that more. Thank you. So I'm tagging the last person. I'm not sure. I think Deborah, yeah. So I'm tagging you, Deborah. Yeah. Yes, I'm trying. It's hot. We got to do.
Deborah. Okay.
Oh, hi. How are you? Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Deborah. I've been on the group for quite a bit. So for question one thing I enjoyed during the summer was traveling with my sister and that I could finally breathe. One thing I wish that I did but didn't do was learn to ride a bike and then ride the bike itself. One thing in my summer that I wish I would do again. I don't know, maybe travel. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
You see that you can't breathe.
Awesome. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much, everybody, for indulging in this. You know, at least now we all know what we're up to for the summer. We all know things that we can start to look forward to for next summer. So the things that you wish you did but didn't do, put them on your plan for next summer. For those of you that need to go and get massaged, I actually have a massage booked for next week for myself. Which setting people were not supposed to hear. Because now they will be bugging me, they want their own massage. Anyway, so if you're looking for ginger for massage, Funks is the person. Everybody that needs massage, drop your name. Funks will make sure that you go and get a massage. Which type do you want? Is it therapeutic? Whichever one you want. In fact, she's your ginger, massage ginger. All right. And then for the things that we think we can do again, I mean, please let's go for them. It's really good to take care of ourselves, to take care of our physical self, mental self, spiritual self, whatever you need to take care of. And for me, yes, I will answer the question. One thing I really enjoyed doing in the summer, I really enjoyed going on a road trip to the US. So one of the group ones that I don't know if there were other groups, but the most fun group one that Auntie Apostle was talking about that she went on was the one that we were all together, and I really loved that trip because it was a nice drive. For me, it was also my first time in the U.S. So it was good to just be out there and go in a group like that. I really enjoyed the group travel. One thing I wish I did but didn't do. So like Deborah, I wish I learned how to ride a bike, but I think I gave up and instead I got myself a tricycle. So that is one thing for sure. It's a step better than not even having the bike at all. And then what is one thing in my summer that I wish I could do again? Um, Even though it's not what I mentioned uh as the thing I really enjoyed, but I wish I can go back to Dallas and have a one-on-one time with Sarah Jakes. Really, I feel like I needed to be in a space with her. I feel like I need to have a sit down with that woman, and anyway. So yeah, I wish I can go back and book a inner circle session so that I could maybe have the chance to sit down with her. So yes, that is that for icebreakers. I wanted us to really just spend that time to get to know one another a little bit more and just share. Today is a very light session. So I know that part of the things that I mentioned earlier, the agenda might not follow the order that we shared before. So because of Oluchi's question, I wanted to talk about what Ladies Arise is a little more towards the end. But I'm just going to um, jump right into that. Just give me a second here. I'm just going to jump right into that for a reason, just so that a question really made me realize that it probably makes more sense to really share what it is before we even so that we can have better context around some of the conversations that we are going to be having today. So I'm just going to jump right into that part instead. Guys, stop sharing screen instead. Okay, so all right. My God. I'm really not sure why I'm having I'm not behaving like a technological illiterate today as well. All right, so share screen. This is the screen. Can we see it? Just to confirm, we can all see that. Okay, awesome. So, what is Ladies Rise about? Before well, not before, and I'll tell us how it even started in a moment. But overall, Ladies Rise is a community of like-minded women, and these women are women who understand and recognize that they're headed somewhere with their lives, and they're looking to live intentional, holistic, purposeful lives, right? And Ladies Arise seeks to inspire you to do that. Once you recognize that, what it means to live a fulfilling life is not just one area of my life, but every area coming together. Then it makes it easier to really live the life that we've been called to live. And this is an opportunity. This is a community that helps inspire you to do that, but also equip you with what you need. Now, very quickly, and I'm going to share what the vision and mission is. But before I jump into that, I just want to share, a little bit on how this even started. So, back in okay, so back in what year now? 2020 or so, somewhere at some point in the pandemic, I realized that I love to read. Personally, I'm someone who loves to read. I love to read books. People say they wind down by shopping or by watching a movie or doing yoga or whatever they do. I wind down by reading. That's how much I like reading, and it's one of my guilty pleasures. But I also love to learn. And I was a very avid reader. I read a lot when I was in my single years and all of that. But then it dawned on me, during the pandemic when I tried to pick up a book to read and I couldn't even get through one whole book. It dawned on me that I seem to have lost my mojo with reading. And I really wanted to read because there's so much learning to do. beyond even just, whatever. Books, the way I see them, is someone has taken years of learning something, and then they condense that years of learning as a wisdom packet for me, for you, into a book. And there's this thing they say that if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. You know, I don't personally buy into that, and if it is true, then I'm the outlier, and happily so. But I see books as a gift of wisdom that someone has taken years of experience and learning and condensed into chapters that I can then take, and my journey can be shortened to the degree that I apply myself to the learnings in that book. And so I wanted to learn, but I struggled to do that. It made me question, what other aspects of my life have I sort of lost, so to speak, in trying to be a wife, trying to be a mom, and trying to be an adult, because it's all encompassing, right? Um, you're an adult when, certain things shift when you become an adult, but then they take a whole new level when you become a wife. And then they take a whole new level when you become a mother. Now, when you're not even a mom to one child, the difference is clear when you add one more child to that equation and they become two. So realizing that, I started asking myself, what else have I, sort of dropped off in my life that I need to pick up again? And that's where it started. Because as I started chatting with people, I realized I was not alone. And so it really started with, okay, let's gather together, read a book, a big group massage lady, read a book for one book a month was the commitment. And that's where we sort of started. And so in that year, I think it was 2020 September, we gathered together, we started reading a book a month. And then we didn't just read for reading's sake. When we meet, we'll review the book, but the goal was you take away something from the book that you will go and then implement. Now, I believe one of the first books we read, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, was No Excuse. I wanted to go back to look for that very first book. I just couldn't find it in my archives immediately, but I'm sure it's somewhere if I search through my social media. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different book that I read before that point. But I remember in that year when I read No Excuse, it was the turnaround. Because in that same pandemic year was just taking the lessons that I learned from that book was what triggered me to finally step into writing my book, triggered me into finally starting my blog, starting my YouTube, and starting all the things that, in that time I started. And so a pandemic that was an excuse for people, not excuse, no, 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 sorry, please scratch that. But the pandemic that was, that was sort of a make or break became for me personally, it became a purpose, launcher in that sense. And so more women came on board. And since then, it's transformed to be the mission has been to build and equip tomorrow's ladies today. Whatever you think you want to become tomorrow, the seeds are not sown tomorrow, they are sown today. Whatever God has called you to be. Now, what is new here is that scripture that we see. What is new here is the scripture that we see. For those on the call, many might not know, but those who are in the we group that I keep talking about, which you'll still get to know, is that what those people know is that sometime last year I wanted to close up this group. And, when I started thinking about that and like, okay, why am I doing this? What am I doing? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I know what was impressed in my heart when I started. But the truth is, sometimes after a while, you start to question and then you doubt. And this is full transparency. And I don't know who is on the call. Maybe there's something that is pressing in your heart and you're doubting and you're wondering, do I really want to do this? Why am I even doing this? I encourage you, go back to the why, go back to the roots. Because for me, the why was I realized there are a lot of women who seem to be struggling as well, trying to hold motherhood, being a wife, being a career woman, maybe even being a career and woman, and then, or maybe even being a career woman and then going to school. There's so much we're doing. We want to be healthy, we want to be sexy, we want to be, badass, we want to be things that we're told we need to be. We want to be spiritual. We want to be all of those things, and, thinking through all of that, um, and how we can really help ourselves be what we need to be without losing a sense of who God has called us to be, but also being true to ourselves and making sure that we really enjoy every period of our lives. those were some of the things that really impressed in my heart that made me advisors. There were people who really challenged my thinking, challenged my ideas, asked me tough questions that I needed to answer on why did you start this to begin with. I had to go back to some of the previous notes because I wrote notes when it started, and I wrote down things that I wanted to see in the lives of women. I had to go back to all of those things. But one thing I knew I needed to go back to as well was God who created me. And I went back to God and I said, God, there is only one way this group is not shutting down. I need a word. I need a word. And I know what I heard in the beginning, but I don't think I got a word. If this is really you and it wasn't just a nice idea, then I need a word. And that was the word that God gave me, which coincidentally, all he said to me was, what's the word I gave you this year? Go back to that. And lo and behold, you go to Isaiah 60, verse 1, the first thing he says is what? Anybody? Isaiah 61. Let me see. Who are Bible scholars here? The first thing it says is what?
Arise.
Arise. That is the first word. And it felt like, oh my God, how did I not see this all along? Ladies, arise. Ladies, arise. Now, Tyra will bear me witness. When we're women evolve, there was something that was said, and I believe it very strongly because I have heard the same in my spirit for a while. Is that we are at a point in time where many women, it's almost as if to say it is a turn. I think I like the way Pastor Terry put it. He said it is the turn of women now to really, we're in a phase where women have what it takes to help partner with heaven to birth the things that God wants to do in this generation, in this season. And you and I are part of that. And it is time for us to arise. Now, depending on what version you use in the Bible, you're probably hearing things like arise from spiritual depression, arise from whatever. But the question is, what do you and I need to arise from? For some of us, it might be sleep. For some of us, it might be too much Netflix. For some of us, it might be uh, uh, um, whatever it is, right? But whatever it is that we need to rise up from, because in our rising is the rising of others. In our rising is the rising of others. And so when God gave me that word, I knew without a shadow of doubt. If it's one person, I'm all for it. If it's 100 people, I'm all for it. If it's 1,000, I'm all for it. And if God says if it's 1 billion, I'm still all for it. But whatever it is, one thing I will not longer do is try to hide my light just so that people around me can feel good and feel like, yeah, as long as you're thinking small, as long as you're doing littles, that's fine, that's good. But there is a call for you and I to arise. And it's funny because the name was always there. The word was always there. I just never really caught it. So when I say that I feel like there's a shift happening this year, I mean it with everything in me. So this is what we are, and this is who we are, and this is what we're about. We're about building tomorrow's leaders today. You don't get there to start building. The foundations are laid today. The blocks are put on today. Every decision you've made in life, good, bad, ugly, not so ugly, has brought you to where you are today. What are the decisions you're going to make today, and how will they position you for tomorrow? So that's what we are, and that's what we want to keep doing in the lives of women. But we can't do it alone. We do it together. Okay. So very quickly, I'm going to. I think last year or 2 years ago now, I had the it dawned on me to really just go beyond myself and ask people for help. And there were those who offered on their own long before I had the chance to even ask for help, and they've been helping behind the scenes. So it's not just me, all right? And you're going to see in a moment some of the things. But I'll give a chance to the team, the we, to introduce themselves as well, because they didn't know I was going to do this. So y'all forgive me, but I'm not the only one that will be coming out of obscurity. We're all coming out together. All right. So they have been working with me to really just put some of the plans that we have for this year together, working behind the scenes. So anything you see on the outside, it's not just a one-man show. And it's personal, it's not how I even like to build. So very quickly, I'm just going to call on them. Fatu is not here. To introduce them, well, you've all um, met them, but yes. So I'll just have them maybe just say, this is who I am, and this is where I fall under, and what I'll be doing for the most part in the group. Um, Precious, I'll start with you now. Kind of go this way.
Okay, hi everyone. My breakfast and the
Breaking up.
sorry, what-
Precious, we can't hear you clearly. It's breaking up.
okay, is it better now?
Yes, better.
Okay, my name is Precious, Director of Communications. So I do all the social media posts and
And our primary reminder of things and events include. All right. Tayo.
Um, Hi everyone again. I'm Tayo and I'm the Director of Spiritual and Family Affairs. So basically just helping us grow spiritually and how we can help build our family up. Yeah.
Hey, awesome. Thank you. Um, Kofo and Auntie A. I don't know which of you will go first.
Auntie, will you go first? I guess I will go first. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Kofo, and I'm the Director of Career Leadership and Personal Development. So no, let me say I'm the co-director actually, because Auntie A is the other co-director. So all the things around career and leadership and all the books that we what's the word? We choose we for leadership and career stuff, we are the ones that come up with that. Auntie
Before I said it, so I am the assistant.
A. No, not as I said co-director. Two
All right.
co-directors.
Stop running.
Okay. Like I said, Kofa said it, so I'm about to say Kofa and I work together to on the leadership and personal development aspect, so that we are excelling in our career as women, irrespective of the multiple hats that we're taking.
Awesome. Thank you. If fair.
Hi everyone, I'm Ife Jeso. So I'm one of the co-directors of health. So basically I'm in charge of like physical health, mental health, emotional health, everything else. Yeah. So looking for books and just everything that relates to that.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So, and um, my name is Anita. I did not introduce my name from the beginning. So, for those who might not know, my name is Anita. And I like to say that I founded LadiesArise. At least that's what it feels like. But um, yeah, I got that vision, and here we are. And what Ife refuses to tell everybody is that she was actually one of the first, in fact, she was the first person I shared the vision with. Yeah, no, sorry, Funks. I am so sorry. Funks, Keza is not here either. Funke, please forgive me.
You are forgiven.
Thank you.
Um,
Oh, you're so sweet.
Hi everyone, my name is Funke and I'm the co-director of business and finance with Kezia. So any activities that will be on the group regarding financial development or growth, business, entrepreneurial skills and things like that will be coming from myself and Kezia.
Awesome. Thank you so
Group
much.
massages, because I like to go for massage. So anyone that wants to go, just let me know and then we can book a date.
All right. So you've heard your own group massage group. The other thing too that I know that would be nice for group is Caddy and money, pedicure and manicure. That would be nice as well. So yeah, if you're all for that too, by all means, please. Okay, so the other thing, so I was going to, so my name is Anita, and I thank God for the privilege to have this vision, and I'm really grateful to all those ladies for stepping in and stepping up to really help. Thank you all so much, and I know that one of the things that I really want to see is women truly embrace. Now, one of the things we're going to talk about, we're going to get off into some conversations here in a moment, is women really just stepping into all that God has called them to be. All right. Now, this platform, while it's not necessarily designed primarily as a spiritual platform, it will always have that it's standing on that spiritual foundation. All right. As far as we're gathering to pray, we're gathering to study the word goes, there are lots of platforms for those. And I don't believe in reinventing the wheel on some things. What I would rather do is tell you, teach you, or encourage you to know how to infuse that as part of your learning and as part of your growth and as part of your holistic living. But for us here is, and I'm going to show you in a bit here. So I know I said we started with reading books, but part of what it has also evolved into is is this, right? And is that every day, and by every day really is just Monday to Friday, is you get daily affirmations in the group. All right. I'm a big believer in putting the word on my mouth and speaking it. Now, I know I call it affirmation for benefits of those who may not who may not be Christians or understand that Christian that may come in contact with us, is why I call it affirmations. But the truth is, while I do not put the exact scriptures there, everything you see me put on those affirmations are things from the Bible. Just some are rewarded, some are, of course, paraphrased, and others are infused with regular everyday wordings. So daily affirmations, you can watch out for those Monday to Fridays on the group. I'm trying something new where I'm doing voiceovers over them. I'm putting them out there as well on YouTube Shorts. So if you want to just listen in, um, yeah, I'm still working on fine tuning how I go about that one. Now, one of the things that we're going to be doing weekly from this year is that, so everyone has told you the different areas where they are helping us hone in and grow in. Nobody is perfect in knowledge, myself included, of course, right? And we're all learning together, we're all growing together. And so, in the different areas, and I'm going to see what the monthly things are, but in the different areas that each person is dealing with us, what will happen is, so that we really hone in that area of our lives, they will share with us um, videos or something, anything, to just something inspirational on a weekly basis to get us going in our week. Now, the other thing they're going to also do for us, and don't worry, it's not going to be anything cumbersome, okay? Short videos or short snippets of something, a quote, a write up, but just something to get us going in the week to say, here's something we're putting our minds on. And then action oriented challenges, which we'll be doing within the WhatsApp community group. And these are things that, like I said, we're all about action here. We're not just going to hear things and be like, oh, that's so nice, that sounded good, and we're just sharing on social media. Beyond that, are you putting it to practice? We're going to practice the things that we're talking about. And sometimes it's that we don't even know what to do. Somebody else will think about that for you and show us what we can do, what we need to do. So those are some of the weekly things we're doing. Monthly, of course, we meet every month for 2 hours. Every last Saturday of the month is when we meet. Now, if it's a month where we're reading a book, the expectation is that by the time you're coming to the review, you have read the book, so that we can all talk about what we learned from the book, and then we walk away with some of the action items of what we're going to practice from the book, and make sure that we hold one another accountable. Again, on the community groups, talk about what that is that we've committed to and whether or not we're actually doing them. And then at the beginning of the month, usually within the first 3 days, you will get a newsletter in your email inbox. If this is something you'd like to have, feel free to ask us on how you can get your, or send your email to me. We'll make sure we get you added in. We don't like to spam people, so really it's to communicate to some other people. On the email group, we have about 100 people, or a little bit over. But on the community group, we have less than that. And then, of course, people that typically show up are a little even lesser than that. But there are more people who sometimes they just enjoy those write-ups, and that's what they want, and that's fine. And then we meet once a month like this to just talk and share. And sometimes there are months where we might not read a book. And in those months is that we might either bring in someone, or we might have like maybe a special seminar or webinar or a training or something that we're looking to do. And then yearly we do an in-person meetup, which is usually in June. So our cycle is September to June. July and August we don't meet, but the group is still there. It's still active. We're still checking on one another in the group. July and August we don't meet because summertime here in Canada. Those are some of the good pieces of the culture that I like here. Is the idea is unplug from as many things as possible and spend quality time with your family, especially for those who have little kids. They're out of school in that season, so it's a good opportunity to really just spend time with them. And it can get busy for parents even in summer, even though kids are not in school. People probably want to put their kids in one activity or the other and really utilize the summer or go on family trips and travel. So these are some of the ways that we help us grow, and we help us rise and help us build. So very quickly, we have put together the books that we'll be reading for the year. The books that we'll be reading for the year. So in October next month, and the books are in line with they're in line with the themes for the month, for each month. And I apologize. There was something when I was putting this together, I actually forgot to put in the actually forgot to put in some of the things that we've looked at for the year. So just give me a second, please. And I'll pull that up very quickly. So, because I want us to just have the visual for it. Yeah. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, I'm not sure why it's coming out like that. But anyway, so as we can see, this is kind of what the theme is for the month in each month of the year. So we already have it all mapped out. So it's really going to be an exciting year, and I'm really looking forward to everything. And then there are some months that, there are specific, maybe world events that we really hone in on, and we will talk about them and learn about them together in the community. So we're in September, so this is our meet and greet session that we're having. And then in October as a whole is tagged Women's Month, Girl Child Month. There's a Girl Child Day in there, and so we're going to be talking about legacy. I'm a big believer in leaving the next generation better than we met we experienced for ourselves. All right. I have a daughter, so every time I can't help but think about what kind of life am I leaving for my daughter. I mean, I care about my son too, for sure, but when we think about some of the issues that women have faced and the social constructs that we're trying to, at least the negative parts of it that we're trying to educate people on and change, what will that look like if we don't do anything? Or even legacy. And I'm really excited for what we're going to be learning and talking about in October. In November, we're going to be talking about leadership. Why do women hold back? We're going to be looking at that. We already have our books listed out, and I'll show you the books in a moment here. If you're called as a woman to lead, why do we always shrink back? Why do we play ourselves down? We're going to have all of those kinds of conversations. In December, we're going to talk about visioning, and this is for towards the year in our own lives. What is the vision? By now, I want to expect that we're already thinking about our plans and goals for next year. Again, remember what I said about earlier about living intentionally and living purposefully. So we're going to do a little bit of a training session in December. There's no book in December. I can recommend something if somebody wants, something to read on or learning on how to envision lives and all that. But we're going to be doing more of a training in December, and we're going to collectively work on whatever type of how you set your vision, whether it's vision board or you're like me, you like tables and writing it out or whatever, however you do that. But you must have a vision for the year. You must write down the vision so that you can run with it in the year. And then in January, we're going to start out with, growing our roots right and starting off the year right. Remember when I said that we leverage the things that we already have? The goal is that in January, we're not going to set up our own fasting and prayer sessions or anything like that. No, we would encourage you to, we'll hold you all accountable to say, when does your own church do beginning of year fasting and prayer? And you'll make sure you're plugged into that. But we'll talk about all that, as we go along. And then in just to give us quick snippets of what we're doing the year. In February, we're going to be talking about business. And then in March is International Day of Women, where we're going to talk about the global lady, what it means to be a rising lady in the global world today. And then in April, we're going to be talking about money, 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 money. May is Mother's Day. There's Mother's Day in May, so we're going to talk about motherhood and what it means to mother girls. And mothering here does not necessarily mean your own biological daughter. There are girls all around us. All right. And then in June will be our hangout, and we're done for the year again. So this is just kind of like a snippet of, so all the people that are doing all these different things, as they've mentioned, they've all picked out books for us that we're going to walk through. There'll be challenges coming out either from the book, from the learnings, whatever they're sharing with us. And so these are the books. I encourage you, we'll share this in the group as well. Precious will help us with that. And then it will also be on our social media pages as well. Please get your books, mark your calendars, and that really is our own action items. Is that we get our books, we mark our calendars, we meet 2 hours every month. I don't think that's too much. And then of course there is conversations going on in the community group. I encourage us, please, it's encouraging to us when you engage. If we ask questions, please answer, please contribute. Pam is not here, but I really thank her for the message she shared with us last week. There's been a lot of learnings. I started listening to it, I didn't finish it. But by the time I started reading what everybody who had finished listening, was learning, I felt like I listened to the whole message. And then when I went back to it later, I started from the beginning. It even opened up in a whole different way to me. And I really enjoyed it. You have something you think can help, please feel free to share. Of course, let's be mindful not to just, spam or do whatever, but something that can really uplift everybody, one another, that can uplift everybody. Please let's share. If there is, oh, I mentioned her name and she shows up. If there is something that you do as a business, feel free to please also let us know so that we know how we can support one another. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But so this is Ladies Arise, and this is what we are, what we do, what we're looking to do this year. Are there any questions, comments, concerns? Who's excited? Who is excited about what we have for the year? I can't be the only one. Yes, who's excited? Yes, we are excited. We better be excited. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Anita. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, it's okay. The funny thing, I mentioned your name and then you popped up.
Oh, awesome.
I know. All right. So people are not excited. Wow. Ouch. Ouch. Wow. Only two people are excited. Okay. Oh, wow. We'll get there. All right. So, Pam, welcome. Guys, what do we think? Should we get Pam to do her own, we don't know who Pam is. Pam, we'll give you a second, a moment to quickly just do your own icebreaker. You have to turn on your video for us to see your face. Tell us your name, your city, and then answer the questions on the screen.
Okay, sorry. Just give me 1 second here. I have to turn on my camera. Oh, sorry, just give me 1 minute. Sorry, I was cooking. I'll just sit by the side. I'm turning my camera fully. This is not my real face, guys. Okay. See, Zoom is unable to access my camera. Hello?
Hello, it's fine.
Okay, let me check. Let me turn on my camera. Let me be obedient. I'll turn it on from just 1 second here.
So while Pam is doing that, does anybody have any question with what we've just heard, learned? Are we clear on what it is? Oluchi, are you feeling like you now know more about the group? Sorry, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but
I'm here now. Anytime, whenever you're ready.
okay. Yeah. Oluchi, go ahead. Don't worry. Answer very quickly. We'll get back to Pam. I know you're muted.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I'm ready and I fully understood what the meeting is all about, or the group. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. You're the newest person. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you're the newest person. So if it makes sense to you, it makes sense to everybody. All right, Pam, we're ready for you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Pamela. Icebreaker question. What is the one thing you really enjoyed doing in the summer? I think I really enjoyed just spending time with like people. So going into the year, I prayed that I wanted like people that I don't know how to explain it, people that elevated my spirits. I wanted to see more of them. And surprisingly, I saw two of my best friends this summer. One came to give birth and the other happened to just hop in town. I think she said that someone was moving to Regina, so she just showed up. So that was awesome. Like she really like lifted up my spirits. So I was thankful. What is one thing you wish you did but didn't do? I wish I traveled a little bit more this summer, but I didn't. I only took maybe one trip. But I wish like even if it's within Saskatchewan, because at the beginning of the summer we were thinking of like touring Saskatchewan, because most times you never tour your city, you always want to tour outside. What is one thing in your summer you wish you could do again? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this question. I don't know. I think that's it. I don't have an answer for that last question.
All right, that's okay. That's all right. Thank you so much, fam. And thank you, everyone. So I'm really excited for this year. So please, someone who is really looking to bring in all the areas of their lives, and I'll ask us a question to to kick us off in a bit of a conversation here. Oh no, that's not it. So, what are some of the issues women face? There's a second question I didn't add, but I want us to also talk about it. So, two questions really, and I'll put that one in the chat. Can we really have it all together? Can we really have it all? Career, business, whatever it is, spiritual, woman on fire for God, woman badass and everything she's doing, woman, for those that are married, woman that is always, giving it right. Kids around. I don't want to. I don't want to start answering questions later. But then, so two questions: can we really have it all? And then, what are some of the issues that we're facing? So, who wants to kick us off? What do we think? Let's talk about it. Or what are some of the issues you as a woman you faced? I know the ones you have faced or continue to face, but what are some of the issues? Can we have it all?
Are you waiting for us to talk? I contribute.
Have a good day.
Okay. Yes, I feel like we can have it all. Like, I don't
I
know.
was
Yeah.
actually typing in the chat. Sorry, Ife. I was actually typing in the chat that 12 can play that game. Let's all be silent together.
I was like, I don't know what's
But
happening. Like,
yes,
is this
no,
so
sorry.
recorded?
Was that not clear? I apologize if it wasn't clear. But yes, it is for us to answer. If you say yes, we can have it all. Tell us how.
I think we can have it all based on. So I put the scripture there. Philippians 4:13. It says, "You can do
Mm.
all things through Christ who strengthens us." Who strengthens us. Yes, I feel like as Christians, if you're a person of faith, believe that God can help you to achieve everything that you want to, and as long as it's according to His will. So yeah, I think it's possible. People are doing it. It's very possible.
So something came in the chat. It came directly to me. So I don't know. I'm assuming maybe you want to share it publicly. I don't know. But if that's the case and you don't want to share publicly, anybody, please feel free to message me directly and then I'll put it in. But navigating career and motherhood is something that was mentioned. Navigating career and motherhood. Um, how is that? How is that an issue? And thank you, Ife. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things. So you mentioned that there are people who have it all. Please give us example. Sorry, I'm not trying to put us on the spot. All right, and we'll wrap this up, and I'll tell us why we're having this conversation and what the importance is, and we'll also have a conversation on how we can support one another. But if you have examples, please, I strongly recommend that you share. So
Praise the Lord. Whatever. I don't know. Okay, I wanted to just contribute. Okay, can I talk?
oh yes, please,
Okay,
absolutely.
I was kicked out. Question. Can we have it all? I kind of this is how I say it. I believe we can have it all, but at the same time, at different timing. Okay. So, and I'll give an example. But before I give the example, I would also say that as women and as even as individuals, as God's creation, we for every timing of our life is quite different what God would have us do or what we should be doing. Okay. So for instance, I know I want to be XYZ, I want to be everything, but at the same time, I I feel a bit of what's the word to use now? Not restrained, but I bit of challenges in the sense that there's some things I can do now that I was unable to do when my kids were younger. You know, they're older now, so I can decide to just go travel around. Before now I couldn't do that because if I'm not with them, I don't have a nanny, right? So and I don't have my mom or my dad staying with me, then I have to take them along. So at that time of my life, I wasn't having it all because I would have loved to go everywhere, but I couldn't because of my kids and my children and the home front. But now they are older. I can decide that, hey, guys, mommy's going out for a week or she wants to get to, XYZ, you guys take care of yourself. I call them, I monitor them, and they are fine. And we talk and all of that. And that's another phase, stage that I'm in right now. At the same time, or having meaning both career, model. But sometimes I'm like, guys, I'm tired. Sort yourself. Everybody, let's wing it. And that's it. And we move. Or I may wake up the next day and feel bad as a mother. But again, I dust myself and say, for yesterday, that was what I was meant to do. And that's it. It doesn't make me less of a mother or a bad mother. And the example I want to give is this. I would start not necessarily a scripture now, but I was listening to who was it now recently, Pastor Funke, Reverend Funke Adejumo, and she was saying, she went back to school and she's studying law and she's 60, she's a grandmother, and I was like, why? She's ministry wise, she's fulfilled. Even she has done well for herself. Her children, I think all of them are married. They are Christians. They love God passionately. They're doing well. and she's going back to school now. It's a phase in her life that she said she had always wanted to be a lawyer. And now she has all the time in the world, in quotes. But then, time wasn't, at the time when she had her kids, they were much younger. She didn't have maybe the luxury of time to go to law school or to have that degree. But now she's a grandmother and she's having the degree, and I think that's for her, that's the phase, in her life that God would have her fulfill. I don't know if I'm making sense, but we can have it all, but not at every time that we find ourselves in. Because there are times that I feel that, there are times I feel like, I should have done this, I didn't do it, oh God. And then guess what? An opportunity comes maybe next week or next month, and I'm able to do all of that or even much more. So I feel we should just, in as much as I do not believe in, being laid back, but at the same time, putting in the effort and the work into whatever it is we want to do. But we can't know everything at a go. Like everything can't just unfold to us. It's a journey, it's a phase.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. I really like that. So you first started off by telling us we can have it all. And then you're telling us that yes, we can. We just need to be mindful of the fact that it might not all happen at the same time, and learning to give ourselves the grace is where and when we need to. Thank you so much. And I like that Mommy Adejumo's example. I really love that example. Me too, when I heard that she was coming back to school, I was like, oh, okay, that's good. But I like that kind of story too. Anyway, Joba.
Hi, yeah. So I wanted to add to what Sister Lamide just said. I believe we can have it all, but in seasons, not at the same time. And I totally agree with that, because I feel like for me, I'm in the very early stages of motherhood. And I find that sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't do this now because obviously the kids are there, they need us, or we can't just take time out for ourselves because we don't have the help here, which I think is what most of us here face. We're not living with our family members who could just, take our kids for maybe a couple of days and just say you just want to go somewhere, right? And take time off or take some opportunities that you want to do. But I think, like Stalamide said, understanding that you're in seasons. And for me, I think one thing I'm learning now is that yes, there's a season for everything. Yes, I can't do everything right now. But I think one thing I'm learning to do, and I feel God wants me to know, is that when the time comes, be sensitive to it and just take it. Because I feel like we can get so used to not taking the opportunities. And when it comes, it's like we're used to not taking it, so we won't take it. But when you actually now see, you should reassess and just keep on assessing your seasons and keep on reevaluating things and realizing that, okay, I think I can do this now. I couldn't do this 2 years ago, but I feel like now is the time for me to do something about it. So I feel like for me personally, I find that that's where I'm at, trying to reassess and reevaluate where I'm at now. Some of the things I could do 2 years ago, I think I can do them now, and not being afraid to take those opportunities. So I think for me, it's that fear and not that confidence, having confidence to just take whatever opportunities God puts in front of me and opening my eyes to see it.
That is so good. Thank you so much, Jabba. I really, really, really love that. I like something you said that many of us are used to not taking the opportunities that are presented to us, and when I even think about, one of the things I know we're going to be talking about at some point in the year is leadership and why do women shrink back, when those opportunities come. I like something you said, which is that some people truly are used to not just getting anything for themselves or taking opportunities that even when the opportunity is literally on their laps, they still can't take it. So thank you. And I like what you said about constantly assessing your season. Thank you so much. Ife?
Okay, I just wanted to add to what Sajava just said about not taking opportunities or whatever. I think what I'm learning now, what I've been learning for the past couple of months or years, is that sometimes you really don't know what your capacity is until you actually take something up. Like sometimes you're like, you know what, I have too many things on my plate. I can't handle anything extra.
And then if you just push yourself to actually take that extra thing, you realize you have more capacity than you actually thought you did initially. So I think as women, we need to always work with the mindset of like not really saying no to every opportunity just because you think, you know what, this is too much. I can't do it. I can't do it. This is too much. If it's something that you feel, maybe you feel really led to do, if it's an opportunity that maybe you've been waiting for too long for something, just don't just say no because you think it's too much. You can't do it. There's too much on my plate. Sometimes you never know until you try and you're like, oh my goodness, wow, I actually can combine all of this together. So I just thought to add to that.
Thank you so much. You know, what you said now just made me remember an incident I had with Pastor Shaba. For those who might not know, Pastor Shaba is pastor of our church. Some of us here go to the same church as well. He's pastor of our church, Redeemed Christian Church of God, Peculiar Post Parish. I remember what year was this? Was before uh, Teens Church started in PvP. And I remember going to him and saying, Pastor, I needed to take things off my plate because I can't do this. And he was like, Stanita, what do you mean you can't? He says, Stanita, we have not even started with you. He said, you, with what I think I'm seeing of what God has on your life. He said, I've not even, and then he was even describing, that scared me. He said, I've not even stretched you. He said, I was still saying to my wife yesterday night that, Stanita, I need to stretch. The way he said the stretch, I was like, what am I getting myself into in this place? You know? And as if it was the following couple months after that was when it really started pressing in my spirit that I needed to start off a teens church. It was pressing, and I was like, where do I fit this in? Because at this point, I was already leading 2 departments in church. I was like, where do I even fit this in? That'll be 3 departments. And this is even brand new. Building anything and laying foundation is even hard. If anybody has ever built anything from the scratch, it is hard. And I was so when I now went to him and said, I think God is there. I should start Teens Church here. He was like, hey, can I do it? So began the stretching. And I was also in school and I was still working. And you think they'll take one of those departments away from me. It didn't happen. You know, but to the point of everything everybody has said, a point came that when I now needed to really take some of those things off my plates, it was also apparent that, okay, now things need to leave this person's plates, you know, because I think we've now been stretched. Whatever we needed to learn has been learned, but it's also now time to apply focus. So I love it because it's all tying together with something Java had said about assessing the seasons. There's a season for stretching where there's broadness in our lives, and there's a lot that we're sort of holding all together. And God, in those moments, will give us grace to hold it. And then there's a season where we are honed in and we stay focused on very specific things. And when those moments come, we would also know. And those things would even start to leave, you know, by themselves. Thank you so much for sharing. So I think Funks went up first and then Oluchi.
Hi, sorry, I missed some part of the discussion, but I believe we're talking about issues that women face. And one thing that came to mind, when Joba was talking about seasons as well, just before our meeting, I was telling my mom about what LadiesArise is all about. And I also had a few excuses for why we don't meet in person. But then one thing she had mentioned was recognizing the need as women to take care of ourselves. That we most times we put everyone else's needs before ours. Like we say, well, the kids have activities or work, or husband has something to do, and then we then take care of ourselves with whatever we have left. So I think that's one of the things, recognizing the fact that as women as well, we need to fill our cup, right? There's a saying that you can't pour from an empty cup. So just recognizing that need for self-care, in all aspects, like even if it's emotionally, financially, like physically as well, taking time to pour into yourself. That way you have something to pour into those around you as well.
Thank you so much, Rose. I really, really, really love that. And see, if the women who birthed us are telling us that, it gets why we should listen to them. So I really like that. Honestly, we can't pour from an empty cup. I personally I learned that a while ago. You know, by the time we're not careful, if we're not careful and the waters are no longer clear within us, what then happens is that it's the dirtiness that we now start to, when there's a well and then they get to the bottom of the well, it's actually dirt, at the bottom. And sometimes we get so emptied out that we now get to those depths. And it's like there's nothing clean to even give out anymore. And we start to dip into things like resentment, bitterness, and those things without even realizing it starts to come out. And you hang around some people and you're like, ugh, bad energy all over here. I don't want that. Without realizing we start to give up bad energy, but we can be full. And whatever fuels us, we need to make sure that we learn how to get filled. Personally, for me, I don't really think that can be more filling than God Himself who created us. So I strongly encourage us, man, get filled on your own too. Oluchi, and then Precious, and then A.
Yeah, I have a question relating to what
Mm-hmm.
Sister Ife said earlier concerning our mindset. And my question to her is, do you think our mindset plays a big role in how we approach and navigate challenges? Sister Ife.
Mm. Thank you. Ife?
Yes, actually, I think it does play a big role. If you I don't know how to word this properly. I feel like if you believe you can't do something and you're like, totally, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, it will affect it will affect the work you put into it, it will affect the motivation, it will affect your motivation. And then it almost becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, that you won't actually be able to do that thing. So I think your mindset, the mind is one of the biggest things we actually have to train. Like if you believe you can do something, um, it will motivate you to actually do that thing. So I think your mindset plays a big role in the things you can achieve. I don't know if there's anyone that can help me put it properly or word it better. But yeah, I do believe so.
Yep. No, I agree 100%. And yeah, Oluchi, that's a great question. And I believe strongly too, like if I said, the mind, what we tell ourselves can very quickly become a self fulfilling prophecy. You know, um, there's a saying that I like, if you say you can, you're right. If you say you can't, you are also right. Whichever one. And one of the things I've also learned is that the more we keep telling ourselves we can't, the more we don't even open up ourselves to see creative ways of resolving whatever it is. But when we immediately take off that lens to say I can, suddenly we start seeing, it's almost as if you start seeing clearly. Like for some of us now, if we just say red car, because we've heightened red car to our consciousness, suddenly you start seeing red cars. It happens to all of us, right? Where you say something and then it's like you're seeing it all over, right?
Yeah,
But
there's
before
even
you
a
said
word
it,
for it. I can't remember.
yeah, I don't know. So I'm trying to remember what it is, and but before you said it, you probably before you it came to your awareness, there were probably more red cars on the streets, even on your own streets, than you realize, right? But because there's a heightened awareness of red car, now you see red car. Similarly, when you tell yourself, you know what, I can do this thing now, all of a sudden your brain just goes into, okay, how can we make it work? What can we do? Okay, I might need to switch this a little bit here. People even start to come to it. Nobody comes to light that is not on. When it says Gentiles will come to your light, it is that even for you, that light, first of all, shines within you. And then people start to come that can even help you in that light. Our mindset really plays a whole lot, and when the Bible talks about guarding your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life, it's part of it. What the mind says it can do. To him that in our church this month, today is even the last day of the month. The theme we have for this month is endless possibilities. It says, to him that believes, all things are possible. And even for us as women too, it is what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about what the society tells us, what we believe about, us based on experiences that have shaped us. All of those things put together shape and frame our mindsets in a particular direction. And if we're not careful, we start to attract the things that we've told ourselves. So mindset really does play a huge role in whether or not we're able to get anything. I don't know if that helps the question, Olichi, but I really like, and if anybody has anything else to add, for those that have our hands up, if you want to add to that before you answer, make your own comments, feel free to do that as well.
Yeah, I really do agree, and I almost found myself in that mindset situation. I remember when I relocated out of the country, and the environment I moved in, the narrative that was being mentioned at that time was that, oh, because we are immigrants and all of that, we can't get professional job. So we should start, and we should be doing, is it the blue collar, white collar, whichever job, the cleaning job and every other job. And there's nothing wrong in doing it, but I think that really had such a huge impact on me. And I was not looking for a professional job. This is me studying for my master's. I started looking for cleaner job, and they were like, even call center work was a luxury job back then. Like if you're working in call center, to be as if you had connection to it. And when I started asking around, they were like, oh, because you're immigrants, or maybe you didn't have some banking experience and all of that. And something was like, just apply for this call center job, even though I had beaten myself hard that it is impossible. People said it's impossible. And I applied. And I got it without much effort. And I thought, what did I do different? Like I really had to go back to check. What did I do differently? So I could have kept myself in that mode of, this is what it is. You can't do beyond this. And I would have after my master, keep doing cleaning job and working in Walmart and all of that. So the moment I came to Canada and people started pushing the narrative that, oh, you need to have a Canadian experience, or you need to have a Canadian degree before you can break forth professionally. Immediately, I pushed down. I didn't even let it settle that people should not start with this with me. I am starting on a new ground. I can do it. I will give it a try. And that was it for me. And the first job I got, I didn't have a Canadian experience. I didn't have any Canadian certification. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we just have to be careful what is being narrated to us and filter through what is for you. Because those mindsets, before you know it, you start building on your minds, and before you know it, in fact, by the time they ask you why you're not doing this, you might not even have an answer for you because you've been shaped into that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. I remember when I came, she was one that told me my moving to Canada was next level in my career for me. And to be honest, that was the only different perspective I heard at the time from everything else I was hearing. And to her point, I still ended up going to work in McDonald's for my first job. But because I heard something, how I even approached and showed up to that McDonald's job was a whole different from, and there were other people who God still puts in my path. I remember one time I was feeling all sunken because I was working in McDonald's. Here I am, professional coming from wherever. And, somebody said, oh, where do you work? And I said, oh, McDonald's. And somebody challenged me and said, what do you mean it's McDonald's? That's what do you mean is that people bought that McDonald's one day. What do you know? Maybe God put you there so that one day you can have your own franchise of McDonald's, and now you're just understanding how the systems work. And I was like, wow, I actually never saw it like that. But I love that he challenged me because at the time he was working in A&W. And in fact, at Sabasadi, you might know, like, was a Kifa. He challenged me because he was working in A&W. Now he's a regional manager in A&W. So really, you see how sometimes it can play. It's not even the situation we find ourselves in sometimes. It's the mindset we have, even while we're in those situations. So whether you but when you have that right mindset, whether you end up in a McDonald's or you actually get that professional job right off the bat, the mindset you carry determines whether you come out of the McDonald's to where you need to be, or even though you get the professional, if you can sustain it. Mindset still matters. Sorry, we'll get into a whole session on this one. Precious. Fresh.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I wanted to add to what Joba said as well too. One thing I'm learning is God is a time of season, and that's how He deals with us in seasons. Sometimes we want to maybe move past a certain time. God is like, no, I'm not done with you in this particular season. How about you just wait and learn what I'm teaching you in this season, so it'll be easier for you for the next season. And so, yes, we can have it all, but it's just going to happen in seasons. And then there's just this saying that I'm in the middle of what I prayed for. So some of us, where we are right now, was something that we're hoping that, oh my God, one day I'll probably get married or have my kids, I'll have my family, I'll have a home, I'll do this, I'll be at this point in my career. It was once a prayer point, but now it's a testimony that we're living in it. And that's because this is the season for that particular thing that we're expecting to manifest itself in our lives. So I truly believe that we can have it all, but it happens in seasons. And since we are all children of God, and that's how God deals with us as his children, he makes all things beautiful in his time. And for us, that could be, our season. And it's just for us to just align to what God is doing for us per season, and to be able to get to our dream or God's intent, dream and vision for our lives. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Precious. And I love that verse you quoted. I think it's Isaiah 60:22. I think. But anyway, yeah. I, the Lord, I make all things beautiful in its time. I love that verse. Thank you. And I agree with everything you've said. Tayo.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, can everyone hear me? Can we hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to tie it up and wrap it up with, I don't know how many of us listened to the message, who was in the first service and who was in the second service last week, Sunday. Yes, we can have it all. In the first service, the man that preached had highlighted 4 points. He said, your situation is common. So whatever we are going through, someone else has already gone through it. We are going through it now, and someone else is also going to go through it. So don't make that situation look so big, because when we make it look so big, it becomes big. The second thing he had also mentioned was that God is faithful. So whatever situation you're going on, you can always bank on God's faithfulness. And then the third point he had said was, I am able. I can deal with any issue as long as you have God on your side. And then the last thing he had said was, there is a way out. So whatever challenge, whatever circumstance, whatever situation you're going through now, just know that it is not common. God is faithful. You are able. And finally, there's always a way out. And then in the second service, someone else came and ministered in the second service. And one thing that struck me was when he said, we are perfect. God has called us to be perfect. So don't believe any lie from the devil. Don't believe any lie from whatever anyone is telling you. You are called out to be perfect. So yes, you can have it all, and you can have it all in perfection as long as you have God. That's all I just wanted to say. Thank you.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys, you notice how she said she'll wrap it up with all that. That's why I could went to things like, and then was that a mic drop or what? Because truly speaking, we can. And as if I was really smiling, and I don't know if you could see my smile go from one ear to the other when she talked about the lies we believe. I have truly come to learn. The Bible says in 3 John 2, it says, Beloved, I wish above all things that you will prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. And we are all correct when we said that we can have it all. But do we really believe that? Do we really, 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 truly believe that? Because the truth is that if we don't believe that, we can say it for all we want, but the truth is it would not become a reality. There are people who are very skeptical, and it's okay. Let them keep being skeptical, you know. Let them keep being skeptical. But the truth is, there are examples of people, women who have had it all. It may have come in different seasons, which is why I like the example of Pastor Felix, Reverend Felix, Funke Felix Adejumo. that I always wanted to be a lawyer. Does it matter if I become that lawyer at 60 or 70? Now, yes, it would be nice to be the lawyer at 20 or 30 and grow and rise in your career. But what if it comes truly at 60? Then what's the big deal? She can go out of this world knowing that I did everything that I wanted to do. And which is why I'm even excited for us with where we are starting next month on our book, talking about legacy. You know, when one of the things that one of my mentors did for me one time, and I'll share that this thing with us for us to go through that exercise. It's one of the challenges we're going to do in October. It is write yourself a legacy note. But one of the things that is very profound in that you legacy is not something that you that have, and then the results of it or the seeds you sow will eventually manifest, germinate. That is legacy. We really truly, there are women who have left us that legacy. And so one of the things that I want us to do that we said we're going to do in this year, when we're talking about this in the executive group, is that we're going to ask each and every one of us to commit to something this year that you want to develop in your life. Sorry, we call names here. We put ourselves on the spot. So, Luchi, sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. When you talked about that, you wish that you started you launched your business, right? If that's all that you say you're going to do this year, I remember when we read that book, No Excuse. For me, I told myself that year was the year I had no excuse. I had to become an author. I had to write my book. And if all I did was, even if I don't publish, let me sure know that I have a life started pouring out before me. And I didn't even know how I wrote that whole revealed was written in 3 months. 3 months. In fact, when my writing coach then was setting my targets and everything for me, she was saying, knowing how busy your life is, it's not your own. And I told her, I say, by the third month, I don't provide. Bill me extra. You have my full permission. Bill me extra. Because by the time I'm not paying extra 5K every week that I fail to produce, nobody will tell me. I'll have common sense. But the truth is, guess what? In 3 months, it was done. How it happened was the moment I said, I can, the opportunities opened up. So I want us to really leave here today challenged in our spirits that I can do it, I can be it. Many of us have talked about Proverbs 31 woman. We've even been angry when they say we can be Proverbs 31 woman. We've been angry to say no woman can attain that level of life. But we've all heard and we have examples of women who have it. Again, one of the things, and I like the concern of mindset that has come in, one of the things that we'll quickly realize is that it's not about what you do or what you don't do. It's not about whether or not you're a stay-home mom or you're a boardroom mom. It doesn't matter. If the mindset is not right, the truth is that you will still not get that fulfillment and you will still not get results as you should. Or you will still not really apply yourself as you should. There are moments where we'll be stretched. There are moments where we'll need to focus. There are moments where we'll need to really dip our hands in this, that, and this and that. And there are moments where we'll just need to sit still. But do we know which of those moments we're supposed to be in per time? And are we really leaning into it? So I just want us to be encouraged. I want us to realize that, there is so much in store. Oh, okay, awesome. There is so much in store for us as women. We're not changing ourselves anymore. Ladies, it is time to arise. It is time to rise up. There's something I love. It's funny because I actually want to mention the name. There is something I love when I read about the story of Deborah in the Bible. When they went and won the war and came back, that thing stuck with me. It said that, and then she was giving this poetic rendition. I'm a person of spoken word, so I love poetics in general. And she was giving this poetic rendition. And then she talked about how Israel was in this place because nobody was doing kini kini. And Ephraim was there because nothing was happening until I, Deborah, arose, a mother in Israel. Who and what needs to shift because you, Funke, are rising? What needs to shift because Deborah, not the one in the Bible now, the one that is, now for this moment, SMS980W, whatever. What needs to shift because you, this Deborah, in this generation in Regina, you arose? What needs to shift because Tayo arose? What needs to shift because Anita, I arose? What needs to shift? Whatever that thing that needs to shift, guess what? It won't shift until you arise. And if we leave here with nothing, I want us to realize things have to shift. Generations are at stake if we refuse to rise. And I know it's not so sorry, don't be scared or don't, but the truth is that it is the things that we do, it is the so I want us to be encouraged. So I'm going to ask technical issues while we didn't start on time, but out at 2, whenever we start. That would also happen if we all show up early too. And I thank you so much because a lot of people did show up early today. I want us to take a moment. Don't just think about this, and I'll put it in the group chat as well. But I will write down, is there an area of your life you are not satisfied with? I know my own, and it is written down. But is there an area of your life you are not satisfied with? How many of us are actually doing now? I know I can't see us, but show of hands, I need you to write this down and ask you if it's something you've done in time past and you're actually actively working towards it, please, by all means, that's great. But I want to know how many people are actually doing this, how many people are committing to doing this. Write it down. An area of your life you're not satisfied with. Thank you, Funks. And then what lies have you believed about that area? What are some lies you have believed about it? And then what truth can you replace that lie with? Because if you don't, and this is where the mindset shift starts, is that what have I been told? Is it that you can't have it all? Maybe you can have it in your career, but not in your spiritual life. Or maybe you can have it spiritually. You can be a praying woman, but every time you're having issues with your husband and your children, whatever lie you've been fed, you've been told, there are people who their marriages are beautiful, their children are well raised, spiritually they're on fire, they look good, they are healthy, it is possible. It says, I wish above all things you will be in what? Health. And I wish above all that you will be in good health and prosper, even as your soul prospers, meaning spiritually, physically, financially, socially. What are those lies you've believed? What truth can you replace it with? And then number 3 is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you willing to do? Now, in doing something about it, is that you have to first of all acknowledge. Number 1, acknowledge that this area, something can be more than one area for some of us. For me, I know it's more than one area. It can be more than one area, to say something is not right in this space. I need to do something about it. Acknowledgement is the first key to change. Number 2 is, what knowledge gaps do I have in this area? What knowledge gaps? Because sometimes, there was something, I was talking to one of my spiritual mentors one time about something I needed to do. And I said, please, just pray for me, pray for me. And I was very desperate. I said, just please pray for me. And she said, what is the issue here? It might not be a prayer issue, it might just be a wisdom issue. And I was like, okay, wow, okay. And something my pastor when I was in Nigeria said, coming into this year, I still listen to crossover service there. Something he said in this year, you're going to need 2 things. When he was talking about this year, 2023, he said wisdom and power. Power is when God steps in the miraculous sense to shift something that can't be shifted. Wisdom is that it is something that you need to do. He will just give you the know-how. And those things really stuck with me. So sometimes I ask myself, do I need the power of God to shift this, or do I just need wisdom to know what to do? Because sometimes it's not just all about the miraculous in the sense of the supernatural experience. I mean, our lives are always supernatural. So what knowledge gap do I have that I need to do? And then 3 is, Who might be able to support me that I might need to talk to? Who might be able to support me that I need to talk to? All right. So, and then finally, this is something we're all committing to. And this one, actually, we will put this one in the group. Now, the first two questions, or the first question of an area of your life you're not satisfied with, and what you're willing to do about it, the lies you've believed, those are things you're doing on your own commitment. But as far as Ladies Arise goes, and this is where we start to hold one another accountable. And I want us to drop this one in the group chat is, what is one area you are committing to developing this year in your life? One area you're committing to developing this year in your life. Okay. So that one I expect us to share in the group chat. If we're going to grow and help one another and be built up, one of the things that come with that is vulnerability. We're going to learn to be vulnerable. All right. Courage takes vulnerability. People probably think when you think of courage, you think about hardcore, never crying, never weak, never angry kind of. Say plenty. Wait, what is, is it the area of things to work on that is plenty? So please, if we need to, we'll go back to go and read that book, No Excuses, or if we have to. But please, what is one area? All right, we'll share it in the group chat. Okay, what is one area you are committing to develop this year? Okay, what do you mean by actions? I'm not sure what you mean by actions. Do you want to clarify? You can unmute to clarify, or you can send me a message directly. Again, I don't know if you're trying to send a message directly or it just is set directly to me without realizing. I see the word actions. I'm not sure what it means. Okay. I'm not sure what it means. I'm not sure what it means. Okay, so I will put this particular slide in the group chat for us so that we have it to look at. Um, we have it to look at, all right? And then I'm seeing, I like all the responses I'm seeing. Spirituality, career, those are not really, it's good. It means that you're telling us that's the area, right? So then I'll give us a a a statement template on what it is that we want to, so that we can be clear. Remember, SMART goals, so that we can be clear to say, I want to maybe do XYZ because of whatever. I'll tell us what that looks like. Okay, that's a premise from, okay, that's a premise from me to you. All right. So I want us to be able to leave, and I think that's it. How many of us are really excited to be here today? I just want to say thank you to, yeah, we covered it all. I just want to say thank you to everyone who made it a date today. Please don't forget the action items. Mark your calendars. Last Saturdays of the month. If anything for any reason needs to change in any month, we'll let you know and let you know in advance. Get your books for the year. All right. We'll put all this in the community chat. Get your books for the year. And please read the books. Okay. Remember what I said about books. It is experiences somebody has gone through and then condensed into a little nice packet for you. If you're a physical reader, we've put them together so that you can get them all ahead, and then you can even pay one shipping fee, and get all your books. And then please be engaged in the group. And I'm really praying for each and every one of you. I honestly really do. Ladies Arise, everything I do is on my prayer board, on my prayer book. I don't on my prayer table, it's there. And I'm praying for each and every one of you that God will really help you to be all that God has called you to be. It is when we step into purpose, it is such a beautiful thing. Okay, maybe send the recurring calendar invites. That's a good way. Thank you, Pam. I like that idea. I do like that idea. I'll do that. But it means then that I need everybody's. Oh, I do have everybody's email address. Oh, but how do I do that collectively? Okay. All right. So keep those ideas coming. Calendar invites. Let's see how I can do that maybe. All right, so thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, Pam. I'm taking you up on it right away. Please, if we need to chat, let's chat on it and then get that going. I really appreciate it. All right, thank you all so much. Looking forward to more conversations in the group and looking forward to